It's the matchup presented by DraftKings. I'm your host, Travis Fulton. Welcome in. Third episode, and we are on fire. The first 2 weeks down at Colonial, and then last week at Harbortown. The picks are rolling. What we do is we go 4 head-to-head matchups, and then I show you my team, the 6 players, at the end. And we're 8-0. I mean, we are 8-0. Last week, JT over Spieth, Bryson over DJ, Victor Hovland over Colin Morikawa, your boy, and then Tyrrell Hatton over Jacques Neiman. How about those two? Had them both in my lineup. All 6 make the cut. Made some money. It was nice. That's how you do it, right? You got to manage the salary cap, find some value, and get those boys to make the cut, and then off you go, and that's what we did. It's been a fun 2 weeks. I'm excited to get into week 3 at the Travelers Championship, but first, I want you to play along with me. If you don't have an account, set up an account with DraftKings, right? Get an account, new account, use my promo code Travis. If you use my promo code Travis, then you get a free entry into the big PGA daily game with a chance to win millions of dollars. What I love about DraftKings is it puts you right in the middle of the action, and there's a lot of different ways that you can play. And when they play well, they make birdies, they move up in their position, you get points, right? So this is fun. Golf is back. It's week number 3, Travelers Championship up in Cromwell, Connecticut. TPC River Highlands, another Pete Dye golf course. Hey, best players in the world are in town. Another fantastic field. You know what's cool here? These are venues where the top players usually don't show up, right? The Bombers, there's other courses that they would rather play. But look, they played Colonial, they played Harbortown, and here they are now at TPC River Highlands. And this golf course, you know, look, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag of who wins here. Ches Reavie, last year, he's not a bomber. Bubba Watson won in 18. He's a bomber. He's won here 2018, 2015, 2010. Jordan Spieth back in 17. Where's he at? Goodness gracious. And then 2016, Russell Knox won here. But here they are, top 7 players in the world. Fantastic field. Really a good golf course, and I want to let you in here before we get to match number 1 a little bit on my model and how I'm breaking this tournament down. Number 1, strokes gain approach. That's not new news to anybody. Strokes gain approach is a big deal anywhere you play. That's number 1. I'm moving up strokes gain off of the tee. Last week, I kind of moved it down just a little bit because of the tree line. I thought I would take some of the distance and neutralize it. This week, a little more room off the tee. We've seen Bubba shape it a lot of different ways, a little more imagination. Players like a Spieth who can't hit it off the planet right now. They can't find anything off of the tee. He can kind of, do his Houdini act as he usually does in scrambling. So I'm moving strokes gain off of the tee up a little bit. Now, number 3, strokes gain putting, but in particularly on POA. Right? They're putting POA this week. This is the beauty of PGA Tour players. They come back, they're in Texas, they're putting on Bent. Then they go to South Carolina, they're putting on Bermuda. And now they're up in Connecticut putting on POA. 3 different surfaces. These guys putt these surfaces. Some guys are just great putters. Others putt certain surfaces better. And it's a big swing in strokes gain. I've got that information. I bring that up to number 3, and then strokes gain around the green is number 4, much like last week. I think, has a little value. But I want to know how they're doing on POA putting. I need ball striking here off the tee into the greens. Let's get to it. I want to help you with your lineup. Let's make some money with match number 1. Justin Rose versus Bubba Watson. Justin Rose coming out at 9,200. Bubba Watson, 8,800. Let's start with Justin Rose. 10 PGA Tour wins, got a major championship, U.S. Open. His first appearance at the Travelers since 2013. A lot is happening with Justin Rose. I talked about him 2 weeks ago. I was a little critical with Justin Rose saying, why are you changing equipment when you're the number 1 player in the world? Does that make sense? I'm the number 1 player in the world, and I'm going to change my equipment. He's back now to his original bats. Things have seemed to settle in from the equipment standpoint. Now he's moved on from his swing coach, Sean Foley. They had a great run. Sean and Justin, really good minds, technical for the most part, and really, I think, fed off each other, had a nice run. During the COVID-19, Justin down in the Bahamas, working by himself, he's decided to take full ownership of his swing. Things are going very well. Look at this. He went down at the Charles Schwab, T3rd. Played very well last week at Hilton Head, T14, 70, 67, 66, 65. Put on an absolute clinic. Strokes gained tee to green. He was +8 at the Heritage and +6.4 at the Schwab. That's a little more like it. That's the way we like to see Justin Rose roll. His golf swing really coming into form. Good numbers because it's been abysmal before that. Check this out. Missed the cut at the Farmers. T56 at Genesis. Missed the cut at the Honda. Missed the cut at API. We're going to brush that to the side. This is the new Justin Rose coming back from COVID-19 and playing some great golf. The equipment's in line. He's now taking full ownership of his swing. And you know what? He's going to a type of grass that he putts very well. I like the way Justin Rose is looking with his putter right now. And he putts POA extremely well. That's the type of grass that's on the golf course. Now, he's going up against Bubba Watson. Oh, by the way, Bubba, he's won 12 times on the PGA Tour, 2 major championships, and 3 wins on this golf course, 18, 15, and 2010. And like Justin Rose, Bubba putts POA extremely well. And let me tell you something about Bubba Watson right now. Bubba Watson's playing some good golf. And this, right now, statistically, is probably the best he's ever put. Strokes gained putting, 2020, 7th. Show me the last time Bubba Watson was 7th. Strokes gained putting. Strokes gained off the tee. He's 8th. He's made for this place. He's playing well. T6 of the Farmers. T3 Waste Management. Missed a cut at the Genesis. T18 at Mexico. Missed a cut API. T7 at the Schwab. T52 at the Heritage. Bubba's playing well. He's coming back where he likes it. But I'm going with Justin Rose. I like Justin Rose. I think he's getting back to form. I like what I see in his putting. He's going back to POA, and I think he's got something to prove right now. I got my equipment back. I'm taking my swing, and I'm going to own it. Give me Rose over Bubba. Match number 2, Patrick Cantlay versus Abraham Ancer. This is a good one, right? This will be closely contested. They'll both make the cut. They're going to both be up there, as most all these top players are every single week. Cantlay's won twice on the PGA Tour, but we haven't seen him since the return here of COVID-19. This will be his first trip back. He's played well here at the Travelers, finished 15th. The last 2 years, really didn't even hit the ball that good last year and still was able to get up there in 15th place. And that's because Patrick Cantlay really doesn't have any weaknesses. This is a guy that has improved on the PGA Tour pretty much every year. Jamie Mulligan is his coach. He's done a terrific job with him. Really all the way back when Patrick was young, working himself up to the #1 amateur in the country, and now the #7 ranked player in the world as a professional golfer. Strokes gained off the tee, he's 43rd. Strokes gained approach, he's 4th, right? That's a big number. Around the green, 48th, putting 92nd. Tee to green, he's 6th. And I like Cantlay at this particular venue. He's played well here. He's coming back, perhaps a little bit of rust, but you can never really discount Cantlay too much and how solid he is with every single club in his bag. But he's going against Abraham Ancer. My man, I love Abraham Ancer. We saw him come on to the fold for the most part at the President's Cup, right? You know, he threw a few words out there for Tiger. He got Tiger, and Tiger, well, he smoked him just like he does everybody else that he faces. Cantlay coming in at 9,800, Ancer at 9,000. Ancer, 5'7", 165 pounds soaking wet, 29 years of age, and he hits it 300 yards. How can you not like this guy? 300 yards. Ernie Els said that, you know, after the President's Cup, he said he has 2 players that he could see get to #1 in the world. Sanjay M, we're going to get to him in a minute, and Abraham Ancer. I'd pump the brakes just a little bit, but I am a fan of Ancer getting his first win on the PGA Tour this year. 301 off the tee, strokes gained off the tee, 39th. Approach, 38th. Around the green, 91st. Putting, 79th. T14 at the Schwab. He was 2nd at the Heritage. He was 20 under par, for crying out loud, and took 2nd. I mean, just incredible golf being played down at Hilton Head. 69, 64, 65, 65. He missed 2 greens the entire weekend. He putts Poa very well. This place is made for him to keep it going. His grit, his grind, his intensity. I love Answer. I like Cantlay, but this is the time for Answer to edge out Cantlay, who probably will have a little bit of rust. Match number 3, Sanjay M versus Sergio Garcia. International matchup here. Sanjay from Korea coming in at 8,600, 21 years of age, and Sergio Garcia, 40, from Spain at 8,500. We'll get to you, Sergio. We see you. We see that ball striking, returning down in Hilton Head. But I got to talk about my man, Sanjay M. You know, all this talk about these young players, right? Now they're in year 2. Sanjay, let me remind you, won the Rookie of the Year last year. But it's Colin Morikawa, it's Victor Hovland, it's Matthew Wolff that get the headlines. And you know what? Deservedly so, right? Great young men, solid players, finding their way, all with a W to this point. Now, what those three? They all have a weakness too, right? Colin Morikawa, his weakness is his putting. He's got to shore that up, especially on Bermuda. Didn't look good last week. Victor Hovland, short game, right? He's got to shore that up. He's a little wishy-washy in some of those short game shots. Matthew Wolff, ball striking. He's got the distance, but his iron game in wedges just not dialed it up to PGA Tour standards, albeit. Sanjay M, he didn't have any weaknesses. This dude is solid across the board. Strokes gained off the tee, 17th. Approach, 35th. Around the green, 14th. Putting, 42nd. Tee to green, 19th. I mean, give me a break, right? I mean, this guy is solid with all 14 clubs. Now, every solid player, they're going to have a bugaboo once in a while. He didn't play good last week. He missed the cut. It was an awful week for him. He's back at it. PGA Tour event. This dude likes to play golf every day, all day. He's coming off a win at the Honda Classic. He was 3rd at the API. He was 10th at the Schwab. We're going to just kind of forget last week. And Sanjay M, this is a good track for him. He will play well. Last year, his first time here, he was 21st and really didn't even hit the ball that good and still finished in 21st. Now, he's going up against Sergio Garcia, the veteran now, Sergio Garcia, who looked like Sergio in his ball striking exhibition at the RBC, where he finished 5th, strokes gained tee to green, 13.9 positive strokes gained tee to green. I mean, that's just a crazy number. Strokes gained approach in the positive, 9.9. And a short game, it looked good. He played here back in 2014, 2015. He finished 2nd in 2014. A lot has happened since then. He's gotten married and kids and all those things. But I heard on the radio coming in, and they watched him at RBC, and they're excited, and that's cool because Sergio is that big name. We can relate to him. He's been around. He's got flair. He's got intensity. And, you know, Sergio's been part of golf for a long time. And we kind of want him back in a weird way, right? And they're like, he's back. I like what he's doing. His ball striking, his putting looks good. No, his putting doesn't look good. His putting is not back. And it hasn't been back, and you look at it statistically. Charles Schwab, he missed, or strokes gained putting, negative 3.8. Heritage, negative 3.1. Last 5 events, negative 2.4. And oh, by the way, his worst type of grass that he putts on is POA. I like Sergio to make the cut. He's going to ball strike his way. High emphasis there, but I don't think he does enough with the putter. Sanjay is back. Consistency, fairway, green. If I miss it, get it up and down. Make the 6-footer, keep it going. Sanjay M. Match number 4, Brian Harman, the lefty, versus Harold Varner III, who was leading the Colonial just a couple weeks ago. Struggled on the weekend, missed the cut last week, did Harold. We're going to get to him. But I want to start with Brian Harman. This is really a good golf course for Brian Harman. He's played well here in the past. 2019, he finished 8th. We were all over that in our fantasy game at the time. 2018, he was 6th. Now, why does he match up so well here? Well, we talked about, you know, the ball striking categories. Brian Harman, solid ball striker, probably slightly above average when it comes to the PGA Tour. Strokes gained off the tee, he's 54th. Strokes gained approach, he's 94th. Tee to green, he's 71st. So he's in that upper percentile in ball striking, right? He's gonna do what he needs to do there. And if he has a good ball striking week, like he did the last 2 years, well, he putts POA extremely well. Great putter on POA green, strokes gained putting 57th, not bad, right? You look at him in the last 2 weeks since coming back. At the Schwab, he finished 23rd, RBC 28th. So I think Brian Harman is a good pick, and he's someone who is going to be in my lineup, I can promise you that. Now, he's going against Harold Varner III, who also is going to be in my lineup. This is where you get the value. Last week, this breakdown, we spent some time on it. It was Tyrrell Hatton versus Joaquin Niemann. I put both of those guys in my lineup. They played very well. Hoping for the same thing this week. Now, Harold Varner doesn't have any wins. Brian Harman has 2. He won the John Deere, and he won Wells Fargo. You look at Harold Varner III, strokes gained off the tee. He is 18th. Approach, 43rd. Tee to green, 15th. What's cool about Harold is he's really improved in the last 3 years with his ball striking. Works with Scott Hamilton. You look at him statistically. In 2018, he was 93rd. Not bad. 2019, 60th. 2020, he's 15th. This dude is striking his golf ball. I think he was a little fatigued, probably upset the way that he finished down in Texas. Had the lead going into the weekend. He was first in strokes gained putting, having a very good putting week, and then it just fell apart. Like, he looks like he gets a little tight, but this is something Harold's working on. He's putting himself in contention. Harold can get in contention on these types of golf courses. The question is, can he continue to get comfortable, right, putting himself in that position and start playing better and perhaps getting a victory soon when he puts himself in those situations. He played good here last year in 2019. He finished 21st. The key statistic for me is he was plus 5.56 or plus 5.6 in putting. Like Brian Harman, Harold Varner III is someone who putts very well on POA. So these are a lot of the things that I kind of start, spinning the wheels on. The ball striking and the type of grass. Is distance going to be a premium? Not so much here. So we bring in a Harman. We bring in a Harold Varner III. I like both of these guys in my lineup, and I'm going to give Harold Varner III the edge over Brian Harman to keep the streak going, to go 12-0 perhaps in the first 3 weeks. All right, let's go ahead and round out this last pick. You got 6 guys now, right? That's how you play this game. You get to pick 6. There's a salary cap. You just can't take all the top players. Give me a Rory. Like, you gotta manage the salary cap. That's where these value picks come in, and kind of finding, who plays well here on these particular types of courses, puts this particular type of grass well on the greens. Now, I mentioned that I picked Justin Rose, right, at 9,200. Abraham Answer at 9,000. I also took Paul Casey, okay? I didn't put Paul Casey in the matchup. I like Paul Casey. I'm going to go ahead and put him in at 8,900, along with Sanjay M at 8,600. There's Harold Varner at 7,100. I have Brian Harman, but I'm making a last-minute change. I'm taking Harman out, and I'm putting not Joel Damon, although Joel Damon's done well for me the last 2 weeks. Ball striking machine. I mean, he's made for these courses. 76 on Sunday, Joel. Anyway. A lot of DMs about Corey Connors. Ball striking machine. Doesn't putt POA well. Harman's coming out. Patrick Rodgers is coming in. Patrick Rodgers is coming in. Now, he missed the cut last week. I get that. But showing a ton of form. An improvement before that. 14th at the Schwab, 24th API, 21st Honda, 30th Genesis. And he is a great putter on POA. Great putter on POA. He's got good length. He's trending nicely in the ball striking categories. In the last 10 events, close to 1 stroke in strokes gained, tee to green. Last 5 events, 1.6 in the positive strokes gained, tee to green. He's getting better. He's cleaning things up, working with Jeff Smith. I like what I'm seeing there. He's got length. He putts POA extremely well. I'm giving Rodgers the edge over Brian Harman to round out the team. Abraham Answer, Paul Casey, Sanjay M, Patrick Rodgers, Justin Rose, Harold Varner III. There it is. All 6 make the cut. I want you to play as well. We're going for 12-0 here on the matchup. Go back, rewatch it, set up a DraftKings account, get in, use the promo code Travis to set up your account, and you get a free entry into the big game to win millions of dollars. I love DraftKings. They put you right in the middle of the action. Get them all to make the cut, and you just sit back and you watch and you make some money and you have some fun at the Travelers Championship. Thank you so much for joining us here on The Matchup. We'll see you next week.